when I create my artwork, I usually do things that I like. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like what's gonna make me happy when I do this. And sometimes my images just repeat. You know, like I end up doing a lot of Salvador Dali's, a lot of Fridas, a lot of like just these little monsters, Cantinflas, because that's what makes me happy. So that's kind of what I do, and I try to do it differently every time. But
Yeah.
for the most part, you know, like whenever I do a lot of work. I work from my subconscious. You know, I really don't think about it. I really don't have a plan.
You really do. You let go, and you
Yeah, I
just
just
kind of
let
get
go.
in that.
I just let go. I get to that state of flow,
The
and
trance.
everything's just coming out,
Yeah.
and you know, it feels really good because whenever I'm doing this is like I said, it was my outlet to a lot of my monsters that we have inside, as far as like depression, anxieties, and stuff like that. So it's a really good outlet for me. So I kind of get in that zone where I'm just like, okay, time to let everything out, and you know, so I'll be doing something, and you know, 2 or 3 hours later it'll be something else, and then 2 or 3 hours later it'll be something else, and then
Yeah.
I just start to refine until I feel comfortable with whatever I'm coming up with, and then that's it. And then it's not till I'm done with the painting or later on that I actually like step back and be like, okay, what was going on? Why did you do this? What's the whole symbolism behind this? Because there is something to art. You know?
Right.
There's like a meaning why the reasons you're expressing yourself this way. So you know, as far as the whole eye goes, it's just I'm becoming aware of a lot of the things that I'm doing, and a lot of the decisions that I'm making, and a lot of the things that you know, I'm living through. I like to symbolize them with the eye, because I feel that when you grow up, you know, you do become more aware of like, you know, your whole purpose of being here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in class time is kind of like demo time. I'm
Right.
like, all right, kids, I'm gonna teach you how to do something.
And you bring something you're already
So
working
like,
on?
yeah, you know, I take out a canvas, and then I start the whole process, you know, like, okay, this is how you start drawing it. You can use this technique. We have the grid technique, where you grid your canvas and then you start doing that, or just use your observations technique. Sometimes that's a lot better, to be able to correct it too.
That must
So,
be interesting to see kids kind of mimicking your style.
yeah, there's a lot of eyes, and that's one of the
A
first
lot
things
of
that
eyes.
that's and it's funny because that's one of the first things that we teach them, like as because they want to learn how. There's something about eyes, man, that people is just, they're so fascinated by it. So like, that's one, sir, are you gonna teach me how to draw an eye? That's like the first thing they ask me when they go into my class.
That's
Like
interesting.
the first days is like, sir, am I gonna learn how to draw eyes? Because like they had either friends that you know we go through a whole session on how to drawing eyes, you know, because I guess the teachers that are there were really like, you know, we like that, you know, like the realism and the impact that, you know, eyes also bring. And sometimes on a portrait or whatever you do, you know, like eyes are like really important. So because that, people tend to look at that first, you
The
know,
window of the soul.
yeah, the way I'm teaching is because of the way that other professors kind of taught me. You know, they really let me do my own things. You know, they weren't behind me telling me what to do or how to do, or like, you're doing this wrong. I think when it comes to art, you can't be, I don't know, like if it's, sometimes I don't like telling my kids, oh, this is wrong, this is not good, you know, like, because it's them, dude. It's them growing, and they're being raw, and they're, you know, if they want to do it that way. I mean, sometimes there's kids that just do it because they're lazy, right? But you
Right.
can tell when kid is really something, you know, putting all his energy and effort to it. So like, for you to go there and tell him, oh, this is not the right way, or this is no, I mean, that breaks them. So
Yeah, the negativity.
yeah, so I know at the beginning I had to learn that the hard way, but once I kind of like realized that, oh man, you should be doing this, you know. These kids, they grow up, and they that technique that, you know, that maybe wasn't good for you, like they grow with that later on, and they become unique, and they become like one of the best artists that we have, because it's like, you know, they learned by themselves, and they grew themselves, and
Yeah.
you know, art is where I'm going.
Yeah.
I definitely want to keep on doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything else that, you know, that I want to do with my life. I think art is where I belong. So as far as like being enlightened, like I already know that. I know that art is for me, and there isn't anything that I would be rather doing than just like doing art,
Creating.
whether being teaching, whether being you know, just being an artist. As long as I have art on my side, you know, I think I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah.